Hi, Jana. So you are starring in The Holiday Fix Up, which will premiere on Lifetime on December 11th. How would you describe the film in 3 words?
Oh, in 3 words. Gosh, 3 words. I would say charming, um, charming, funny, and heartfelt.
Yes, it's definitely heartfelt. There's a lot of moments in the film that really pull your little heartstrings. So you've done a few Christmas movies over the years. What drew you specifically to this story?
What I loved about this was it was just a concept. So I was able to really have my hands in it and be able to have say of what, I want, who I wanted my character to be, how I wanted her to be, things I wanted her to say. So that was cool to be able to have that creative development in it. And it made it even more rewarding in the end.
Did you bring any of yourself to this character that you thought it's like, I really like this certain characteristic about me that I really want her to have too?
Yeah, I think one of the things I was like, I really wanted her to be just like a really hard worker and, but also like kind of exhausted at the same time, like, needing a break. And I think that's something that I like have craved is just like that break. And so, to just relax. And so I think that's something that the character wanted and that I wanted for her and me. So.
Yeah, and I mean, she definitely was a little bit burned out at the beginning, and then going back home for the first time in a really long time was definitely different for her. Is there anything you do when you feel like you're feeling a little bit burnt out? Is that a vacation or just watching some Netflix and chilling or Lifetime?
Yeah, I mean, I love zoning out and watching. I mean, for right, now that, Lifetime has all the holiday movies playing every single day, all day. And it's like, it's one of those things where I definitely like to zone out and watch something that will make me feel good and happy and hopeful. And so yeah, I like that. I love a good bath and some wine. I love just hanging out with my friends. Laughter is always the best thing too. I think it releases a lot of stuff. And I mean, I will always love a little getaway too.
Yeah, yeah. And your character, Sam, she remodels homes in this. I'm curious, did you learn any tips about interior design or DIY while you were filming this?
I learned how to tie a bow, I think, a little better than, but that's about it. Like everything was pretty well scripted with that because it's, with the demo kind of filming is very particular. So yeah, I learned how to hold a sledgehammer and stuff like that. But I'm pretty handy, but with designing, I'm not the best at designing, but I didn't really get to be too creative with that. It was kind of like, hey, you're putting them here and that's that. So
Yeah, I know you said that you were pretty hands-on in creating Sam, but is there anything that Sam taught you while filming this?
yeah, so the whole kind of concept that one of the characters, Rita, in there, we
Mhm.
reference a lot in the movie, but is about just putting the phone down and connecting and being present, how things were back in the day when we didn't have cell phones. And I think that's something that really resonated with me. It was because I live my life on social media and connecting. And so I think that was a kind of a nice little reminder, like, hey, put the phone down, be present, and have conversations and talk to people. And so that was something that I think my character taught me for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of social media, in the beginning of the film, your character kind of struggles with using social media consistently. And then throughout the film, she kind of gets a little bit more comfortable. You are so honest on all of your social media platforms, which is, I think, something that makes you so unique and stand out compared to other celebs, singers, actors. And this past year, I know has been extremely, extremely tough for you. And you've still been so open and honest. How do you decide what you do and don't want to share?
Um, I feel like it's just one of those things where like I shared something, about my divorce being finalized one of the days that I was on set. And
Yeah.
in the moment when that photo was taken, I didn't want to share. I wasn't ready to share. It was too open of a wound. And I think I share when I know that it can help other people, and that it feels okay to me. Cause sometimes I have shared things a little too early and a little too prematurely, and it just doesn't sit right. And I don't like the way that it feels. So I think like just being And there's a lot of things that I haven't shared, that are, there are things that I've written or photos or because, there's sometimes things are just for me. But I also think there's beauty in the fact that we're not alone in some of our struggles. And, no one would have known that day that I was upset because on social media, I was super happy. So I think it's just a good reminder too, to show people that like, we all have our hard days and we have our good days, and some want to share it more than others. And I share more than others, but I do it because I want people to know they're not alone in their struggles or not as strong days.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine how hard it was to get that news and then have to go to work on this movie, which is about Christmas. So I'm curious, did your castmates help you at all get through this, even by just helping you laugh or get your mind off it for a couple of hours?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ryan and Maria were like we're like the three amigos. Like they became family. They were there for the laughs. They were there for the cries. They were there for the hugs. They were there for like through all of it. And they're just like really solid people. And I know having them made this experience even better on personal and professionally, because, you spend a lot of hours on set, 3 weeks straight. And so it's really nice to be able to form a real true connection and someone that's like, hey, they can like kind of feel if you're a little off or whatever. So they were incredible. Ryan, I was like, I like to bring some comedy to it too. I was singing this Celine Dion song. I was like, all by myself. And Ryan's like, it's only been one day. Like, and I'm like, Ryan, like, so it's like, we have fun. And yeah, like they're awesome.
Do you have a favorite memory with the both of them on set?
I would probably say the snowball throwdown, just because me and Maria are very competitive in general. So I was like, I'm going for it. Like I'm throwing some snowballs, and she was the same way. And yeah, there was just a lot of laughs that day. And it was the hottest day. So that was also something that was like hard, because we're all in like our big jackets and stuff. But I mean, truthfully, I mean, every day with them was awesome, but that was probably the funnest of the laughs.
Nice. And so Christmas is coming, but you just posted a couple weeks ago a really candid post on Thanksgiving about how hard it was for you to not be with your kids on that day. I'm curious if you have any fun plans with your kids for Christmas or New Year's.
Yeah, so I don't have the kids for New Year's, but I do have them for Christmas Day until noon, and I'm so excited. So I get them Christmas morning, and that is like, oh, everything that I wanted, because I just to be able to wake up to them and see their excitement and their joy. I mean, that's the best. And so I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, just making new memories with them. There's the three of us.
Yeah. And how has co-parenting with your ex been like so far?
I mean, I think it's like anything with a new situation and transitions, it can be difficult. There's feelings on both sides, and we have to work through them separately. And but also, we have two amazing kids, and I think just keeping the focus on them and never letting them see any of our internal battles that we struggle with, to this day. But I think, we both keep the focus of the kids and let them see that side of the happiness side. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, like anything new can be challenging, but again, we love our kids. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah. And as this year's coming to a close, what is the one thing that you've learned the most or the biggest lesson from this year, do you think?
I think everything in the end will be okay. You're still, no matter how hard something is, you're hopefully you're still breathing, you're still getting stronger every day.
Yeah, and you are so strong, but I'm curious, how are you doing right now? I saw you just got back from a vacation, but how's everything in your life right now?
Things are good. Like like I was just saying this to someone else, like, I think as time goes on, you get stronger every day. You can still have, like, I still have weak moments. I still had a moment, the other day, like, but I'm still stronger than I was yesterday, and I'm going to be stronger tomorrow. So I think it's just one of those things where I'm good. I mean, again, like not every day is great, but like I don't sit in it anymore. And it's just kind of like, all right, it is what it is. And I'm choosing, choosing joy, finding joy, and, my heart is happy, and I'm enjoying, a lot of my friends in my life, and just, finding ways to be grateful instead of finding negative.
Yes. Yes, I love that. And switching gears just a little bit. So I'm curious if you still keep in touch with any of your One Tree Hill co-stars.
Yeah, so Chantel and I are very close. Actually, just at a Tree Hill convention a month ago, and so I was able to catch up with all the, like, most of the cast, James and Steven and Austin, and but Chantel and I are very close, and Sophia and I, we actually had a Zoom probably like a few months ago. But yeah, so we try to stay close, but I am the closest by far to Chantel.
Oh, and speaking of Sophia, Hillary, and Bethany Joy Lenz have a podcast now, Drama Queens, where they watch the show and kind of talk about it. They've had a few castmates on the podcast so far. Would you ever be interested in making a little appearance?
Oh, for sure. Whenever they're ready for me on whatever episode, whenever episode I come in on, I'm ready.
Nice. And last question, you released a single, Voices, in September. Can we expect any more music from you?
There are more songs coming. Yes.